Brown guy with tattoos. I think I'm covered. We're looking for a brown guy with tattoos. Perfect. What
Is
shooters
that
we
the
have?
AK day?
That was the AK day. So
Chest blasted.
chest. He just won.
How about this? We'll give something for the listeners. All right.
Dude, if people understood that they can get slapped at any fucking point in time, they would legitimately shut the fuck up. Fucking take the labels off of this shit. They want to drink the bleach, drink the bleach. So day drinking, and I was like,
I caught that. I'm like, motherfucker, it's 11.
We're at
It's
work.
11 o'clock.
It's 11 o'clock in the morning.
Work at least.
It's 11
I
o'clock
was
in the
at work
morning.
too, but I was like, yes.
Now it's time for you to talk about Blood Day.
Right.
Why the fuck were you guys talking about that before the fucking episode? Hashtag Blood Day.
So awesome.
Listen, welcome to the Covert Standard. The investment into you.
The investment
What's
into
the
me.
investment?
Well, because I went to the fucking Jared Reston's class, and then I went to the Tease class, and now we're doing some shenanigans with some other military units.
They don't need to teach you how to tease.
Oh, bro,
at all.
I can tease
No
the shit out
You're,
of
you're
some-
probably the biggest flirt for yourself I've ever met in my entire life.
Why are you so handsome,
like the guy
bro?
looks in the fucking mirror
Hey,
and flirts with himself.
hey.
I've
what's
never
going on?
seen that before.
Oh, yes, you have.
What's going on, guys? That's right. You're tuned into the Covert Standard. Let's go ahead and knock out the sponsor that's still hanging on.
Is he still alive?
I don't know. I haven't heard from him. in
He
a long
hasn't
time.
fired us yet, though.
Yeah, he hasn't fired us yet, and he still has my fucking AK.
No, I'm texting him.
It's been like 2 months.
It's been a while.
Texting him right
You're
now.
gonna text him right now.
Yep.
Stone Cold Works. He is a Cerakoting company. If you have a boring black firearm at the house that
Oh, it's gonna be black.
because
Why can't it be brown?
That's
boring.
what we're trying to do here.
And
we're trying to turn it to all
and
different
then
kinds of.
our segue to our first. What do you want to be called?
Just be black person number one.
All right,
Black person number one.
I'm definitely not
BP1.
calling you that for the rest of the podcast.
No, BP1.
We have the first.
We need to,
We're
like,
breaking
carve-
history, like Obama. We have the first African American or black person on the show. Is that what you want to say?
B
He's gonna
you
try
see,
to.
B
and you see, I've come here before, and
one.
you see, Chicago is not like this. And I say, Donald, how do you know that, Donald? And Trump says, because Barack, I'm the first white person that can claim a black person. And okay,
So it's funny when you get some drinks. Right.
We need a little bit more alcohol.
So
in
I
it.
guess-
So
Keep
this is
drinking.
this is gonna be a good test to see if Jay's still listening or not, because we're gonna fucking
gonna
go for
be
Jay.
so
He's gonna
mad.
be so pissed.
Yeah, because he definitely missed.
He
his,
wanted to call in so many times.
He missed his window.
We have a buddy who is another one of you, and
oh, okay.
One of
Jesus.
One of the people that came over on the boats. And we happened to make it for how many decades?
all right. So another.
Oh no! It like hiccuped. It hiccuped.
Is it really
Where did it
recording?
hiccup?
No, it didn't hiccup. It's because I fucking pushed the space bar.
So now it's a re
No, we're recording.
on the one that we already had.
No,
or
are
the
you
one that we
listening?
have on
We'll
now?
just keep going.
Or are
Just-
you
you're
not
good.
listening?
So we
Listen.
have another. Jay's one of our buddies, and
We're good.
he's in
We're good.
like Arizona, and he's always wanted to be on this motherfucker, but
Nevada,
he
by the
never. Whatever, somewhere not fucking here. And
He's not very good with the map at all.
What map?
Arizona, Nevada, this is close.
Yeah, California. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ohio.
Places-
One of those fucking places. We're good.
Places nobody gives a shit about over there.
It's hot. That's all it is. Always hot.
Everything's fucking hot. Like today, it's like miserable. The other day, it was so funny. Like we would step out of the car and everything was like, I had like a condensation over everything. My boots, my pants, my fucking everything. Everything was fucking condensation.
Running
Yeah.
all of the AC
Yes,
all
of
of
course.
the time.
Yeah,
Blasting it.
it's not my AC.
So interesting morning that we woke up to this morning, seeing the shootings that were going on.
Oh,
So
That fucked me up a little bit, starting off the day that way.
I watched a video that basically was coming from BLM and Antifa rioters. I'm not calling them fucking protesters; they're fucking rioters.
Sure.
That are claiming to be traveling across the United States. The end is to be at Washington D.C. and they're sweeping through, demanding justice for certain individuals that have been subjected to what they call police brutality. And their solution to this is to burn all the cities down.
For those that are listening, could you hear the air quotations on that?
Oh, I put air
can you
quotations.
explain what you're talking about? Because there's a
that's
lot
not
of
very
people
good
that are
explanation.
not.
What if you're Canadian and not turning on the news?
Okay.
Right? We
Besides that shit. So in
He doesn't care about you
is it
Canadians. Did you hear that?
Washington?
Listen,
No, nobody cares.
I like Canada.
A boot.
Hey,
Anyways,
Not Washington. Where is it? Where is it going on?
Wisconsin.
Thank you. Right?
that's where they are right now, but they're talking about
Milwaukee.
traveling.
Milwaukee.
They're traveling through the United States. To get there.
Well, he's talking about the Milwaukee.
So I
bullshit
guess no,
for the
this is technically
shooting.
not in Milwaukee. It's like outside of Milwaukee. It's in between Milwaukee and Chicago in Wisconsin.
So that's what we're talking about. We're
So
talking about
another dude, they attempted to arrest him. I've heard conflicting things about whether he had a knife in his hand or not. They started to take him down. He resisted.
Okay, yeah.
He got around. He went into his vehicle. They already had tased him at that point. He was saying verbally he was going to get a gun.
Yeah.
He went, reached into his vehicle. They shot him. He didn't die. He's in the hospital.
I
Apparently,
know.
he's a millionaire now.
He'd be
because of
paralyzed.
GoFundMe.
Oh yeah, I don't.
People
doubt that.
GoFundMe just threw money at him.
Yeah.
But because of that, let's burn this small town down. It's a town of like 100,000. Let's burn everything down because
So we got shit else to do.
that's what you do when you're upset about things.
Makes sense.
Is burn the city down? Yeah.
Yes.
Duh.
That's how adults.
What
That's
act.
how you. Yeah. That's how you adults.
What else would you do?
I don't know. Burning vehicles.
So the
they do that too.
terrifying thing
So-
is,
Are we talking about that one, or are we going to go into the AR guy?
well, that happened in that town.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
So
are we
like
gonna talk more
that
about that?
happened, and that was off my radar. I was trying to enjoy my life, and I hear about this yesterday, and then I look in my feed in the morning on Instagram, and the first thing I see is a dude
It's on my hands and face.
in the middle of a street getting not really mobbed. There was 5+ people, but it wasn't like it was 75 people.
Yeah.
But a bunch of people attacking a guy in the street, and then him opening fire with an AR-15. Fuck. Like, that's just another ratchet up of, like, I feel like I'm watching everything escalate to full civil war, and it's fucking terrifying. It's like an awful dread.
So the first one, right? The what they're saying is he had a knife in his hand already, so he had a weapon.
Okay, the
Okay.
incident that caused all the protests
Yes.
/ riots.
He had a weapon, a knife in his hand,
Okay.
and then they were trying to get him. They tried to tase him. Taser deployed, and it failed. Okay. Instead of taking a gun, because that is a weapon, a deadly weapon, instead of taking a gun to use it, they tried non-lethal force
Right.
or less than lethal, whatever they want to fucking
And they're
call it now.
keeping distance.
They're keeping distance, and then he said, "Fuck this! I'm going to my car to get my gun." And he goes to the car. They're telling him, "Stop! Don't go to your car! Stop! Don't go to your car!" He goes in the car. They're grabbing his shirt. "Don't go in your car! Don't go in your car!" And then he starts to reach. Now, when you have a weapon already in your hand, and then you say, "Fuck that! I'm going to go get my gun," and then you start reaching in your car because you just threatened to go get your gun.
Yeah, you can't pull him out to try to take him to the ground to handcuff him. He's got a fucking knife. That's not an option.
Exactly, and they're trying their hardest to not do it, right? Because they have it in their hands. They're trying to stop him.
Are you sure you're not racist?
Yeah, okay. So they're grabbing his shirt,
I think you are.
and then he threatened to go get a gun, and then he starts reaching in the car where they can't see, and that's when they open fire. But they're like, nope. All they want to see, and all they care about is the fact that cop shot guy in the back.
And he didn't have a gun.
Do you?
That is the thing. That
And
is the
he's
point
black.
of contention for a lot of guys. Yeah, he's black.
Yep.
He was shot in the back, and he didn't have a gun.
Do you know they had an active warrant too?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For third-degree sexual assault.
Did you see that?
Real piece of shit.
Did you see that video?
Yeah, I saw some of it. So I saw another angle where it highlighted the knife.
Yeah.
And because at first I was like, well, let me reserve my comment until I see another angle.
What a respectable thing to do.
Right. You know,
Good job
it's
being
not,
an
it's
adult.
not typical from a black person to have that kind of perspective.
Ah, that's fucked up.
But-
Most people in America have that shit.
But yeah, so it sort of put things in a better perspective when you see that they have the knife, because it changes things. So I don't think like you said earlier that most people, all they want to see is that is a black person that's unarmed without a firearm. He may be armed with another weapon, and that he gets shot. So, and it's unfortunate because I go through my Facebook feed and I look through shit like,
Comments?
yeah.
Oh, the comment section's
and
awful.
It's unfortunate that so many people have opinions about things that are not that informed.
They don't know shit about shit.
So, and typically, most of my people that I follow and I talk to are black,
Yeah.
And there seems to be a consensus that, you need to lock him up, or the Breonna Taylor shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Oh,
a whole.
that's a whole
fucking.
Yeah.
No, and I kind of want to talk about that too, but
Yeah.
well, I mean, fuck it. What else? What else we got going on? What about the Breonna Taylor thing? What are you hearing? What do you?
So
The no-knock warrant,
right,
where
right,
she was letting the guy fucking operate a drug business out of her house.
right. And what's crazy is because when I listened to a guy, LMB,
Mhm.
you know what that is
Mhm.
on YouTube.
Mhm.
He was going through during the RNC, where the Kentucky's state attorney
Mhm.
was doing a speech for Trump or something like that. And he said he was going through the Twitter feed, and he was like, there's a bunch of Twitter feed comments about, why don't you lock up Breonna Taylor? And ALB was like, well, why should he do that? And no one has a response for that.
Mhm.
All they want to say is just, because it's a catch-all phrase, lock up the people who killed Breonna Taylor, but not knowing that they were fired upon why they were search
So
a warrant or something like
I
that?
think the reason, one of the big things we have to look at is that what it takes to get a no-knock warrant.
Okay.
Like, it's not something that you can just be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna, fucking I'm
Just get a
I like
judge
this
to
house.
approve it.
I like
Yeah.
this house, and I'm gonna go fucking knock it down.
Right.
There has to be investigations on it.
PC?
There has to be PC. There has to be all types of shit in order for you to get a warrant. Period.
Yeah.
And a no-knock warrant is even further than that.
Sure.
Right? So in order to
Period.
get that, you actually have to have all of the truths that come. So everybody thinks that it's just like, oh, it's a piece of paper I can get, and then now I can just kick down your door. No, they have to get judges to sign off on it. Investigation has to be done. We have to prove what we needed to do, and then that's what happens.
So
yeah.
what I love about it, and maybe it's because this is just what's on my radar, but it seemed like no one gave a fuck about it except for the 2A community. It was like the fucking 2A community. It was like, no knock warrant. People try to defend their house, and they were shot dead by cops. Like, this could have happened to you. This could have happened to anybody that's a gun owner. And then now all of a sudden everybody's caught on to it, and they're crying out, because the 2A community and the whole social justice warrior Black Lives Matter movement, definitely two different crowds. So it's funny to me to see a conversion of the different crowds that are complaining about the same thing.
Sure. Yeah.
No knock warrant that they knocked for.
Right. They
Right.
announced.
They even announced.
Weird.
Yeah.
And I initially heard she was dispatch, and then apparently she was EMT, but not for months.
It hasn't been for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, she went down our dark slope with that boyfriend, where she became a real piece of shit, and that's
talking
where,
ill of the dead.
Yeah, she wasn't as good as everybody that's been shot by the police.
Weird.
They're not as good as they were supposed to be
Imagine
by
that.
everybody else.
Weird.
Putting it out. So all of the misinformation that they're putting out. She was no saint. So yes, it's bad to talk about the dead, but we have to talk the truth about the dead.
Isn't it funny how I don't know, I'm too meta, I guess, but people need to invent their own religion now that everybody's without religion. They have to come up with these words you can't say and these actions you have to have, and we have original sin again. But now I feel like we're getting our new version of secular saints. These are our new saints.
Good call.
I just fucking love the how stupid and we're animals. We're so animals. We don't even understand it.
Yeah.
That's what I think about the same part that an ant has, that same brain that an ant has to make it be a worker bee and follow orders is going on everywhere right now. I can't stand the mask shit.
So we're coming up with a new term. Instead of sheep, we're going to call them ants. I like it.
I mean,
like
it's
it.
the same shit though, right? It's herd mentality. This is social acceptance.
go.
Ants are probably smarter though.
It's literally
Yeah, right?
it's the same brain pathways. And people don't recognize it. And I think it's really funny that people are so stupid that they think they're smart. I really enjoy it.
Well, that mentality though it is because it's raised culturally, right? So within the culture, they start noticing, it always feels better to take the easier approach, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it always feels better to just believe something that's in front of you because it's there. It's easier instead of digging for it and trying to understand it better. It's just so much easier to take face value on things, right?
Mm-hmm.
The whole don't judge a book by its cover, read the book. Well, most people don't like to read, so what do? They just judge it off the fucking cover. It's easier to do. So that's what's happening a lot in our society.
Reading is terrible.
Like I was trying to tell this the other day, there are people that don't work, right? That sit at home, and the only information they have is via their cell phone or the television that's on their wall. So all they get is that. So it makes sense why somebody would have an opinion when they walk out of their house, because all they get, all they're sucking in is through those sources.
Yeah, I mean, there's part of that for the people that don't have the job, but I feel like that's equally, if not double down on the fact of people that do have a job. That
Because they're busy.
They're busy living their fucking life, and then they turn on the fucking TV for 2 seconds or their Instagram feed or whatever it is.
Here's the beauty of people that actually work, though. The beauty is they have other people to talk to and converse, and then somebody can have an opposing view on something.
Yeah,
it gives you the opportunity to have a discussion or debate.
In person is the important part.
But that's why I mentioned specifically people that just, they're at home. They don't talk to nobody. They don't go out and venture. They don't see the world for their own eyes because they believe whatever's on the TV. There are people probably at home right now so fucking paranoid to walk out of their house because all they see is chaos that they think that if they walk out, they have to be like.
But like the people that I know that believe this retarded shit, like they have jobs. Mm-hmm. Like some of them have really shitty jobs, but they still got jobs.
This wasn't meant to be an all catch-all. Like it's not meant to be like every single person.
No, I obviously everybody's situation is a little bit different. I just look for connections. Sure. I got a biologist that moved to Portland and is like, she started only very recently posting like pictures of herself at all these protests, like and with the dates like going through, and it's baffling to me of like. I get it in the beginning of like, this is a movement because I think there's an injustice going on and I'm part of these protests. But as it turns violent in your city, to just ignore that and still celebrate it is the cognitive disconnect I can't wrap my head around, other than, you know, people are good at that. So I don't know. But then the other people locally here that are like upset that they can't go to the Black Lives Matter protest because they can't find a babysitter, like, they have shitty jobs and like get state benefits when they don't need it.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's privilege right there.
Yeah. it's kind of fucked up, but that's how people live sometimes. I guess
that's privilege.
Well, like one of those videos that I was telling you about that we watched, one of the guys actually got shot in the head. And these particular group of people are anti-police. They go around saying, well, I don't even know what that fucking means. Fuck 12 or whatever. And
that's new to me. I don't know it.
Yeah, and all these sayings they do.
Not new to me.
And they're all fucking, you know, anti-cop, and they want to defund. They want to get rid of them. Sure. You know, whatever. But the first thing that they say is what? Call the police. Call the police. We need the police here.
Because people are hypocrites. Yeah, what do you want?
So you want to be against them, but the first thought in your head was to call the police. Well, what happens? What happens if you're successful in your fucking march or your thing? What if you're successful?
They're not thinking.
What if cops just said, "Nope, done, blue flu, everybody's gone,"
which is a trend right now. Honestly,
it's a huge trend.
They're a fucking. I mean, it's been a trend, but it's bad right now out there. Just guys that are trying to be cops. It's fucking bad. I feel so fucking terrible for those people.
Sure.
Like, I give the support I can, but I'm also like, what are you doing? Yeah. Like, come on, motherfuckers.
Imagine when there's nobody.
Poor fucks.
Imagine when there's nobody you can call.
Yeah.
Just imagine that day.
I'll be right.
Well, yes, you will, and so will a good. There's a good group of the population that will be okay too. But
you know what that means? That means there's gonna be more violence.
It means more violence.
Weird.
And it'll be like the Wild Wild West.
That's what they want, by the way. It's what they want. I don't know if everybody that understands that or not, but that's what the goal is of like the leaders of this movement. They want more violence.
Well, yeah, because if you look on Black Lives Matter's website, and they even have an interview, the leaders of it, and they said that they're trained Marxists.
Right.
If you look at Marxism, it's to tear down the structure of value that we have and to create a new one.
Right.
So that's their goal. So they're kind of exploiting subconsciously these tragedies, whether right or wrong, they're exploiting it,
right?
And they're using these people in Seattle, Portland, and they're wanting those local governments kind of like a trial and error phase to see if the new policies and shit like that they implement will work and make it mainstream. So that's why a lot of people take issue with like the NBA having Black Lives Matter written
like painted on
so glaringly on the court. Mm-hmm. And they from the NPA standpoint, they're just thinking, well, we're just agreeing with the sentiment. We're not agreeing with the organization. But if you have that there, inevitably you are agreeing with the organization.
That's the complicated. So like, it's weird to me because masses are both really smart and really stupid. Right. So like individuals and then groups of people when you would like the fucking what was the do you want to be a millionaire, like the most consistent thing that you could do to get the right answer?
I thought he was going to ask, do you want to build a snowman?
Oh.
For some reason, do you want to build a snowman?
Thank you.
But like the helplines that you could
That
put
triggered
out
me.
there.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Do you want to build a snowman?
The fucking I think there was like 4 different things you could do. You could phone a friend, whatever, blah blah blah. The most consistent thing you could do to get the right answer was to ask the crowd, because collectively, generally, people have better knowledge. But when you talk about like
when you get more than one mind on something,
more complicated ideas, people suck at like understanding it. So like Black Lives Matter is a political organization.
It is.
That is based their thing around a phrase that how can you be against it? It's the same thing with anti-fascism.
Yeah.
How can you be against anti-fascism? Right? What kind of fucking monster are you?
Yeah.
So it's a wordplay that a lot of people are really slow to catch on to.
Yeah.
Right.
So like, it's nobody's saying you can't. Like, yeah, I am anti-fascist.
Of course, everybody's fucking pro Black Lives Matter.
Exactly.
But a lot of people aren't pro Black Lives Matter, the organization.
No.
Just the fucking statement.
Yeah.
I just don't understand their concept of let's burn down the
But it's
infrastructure.
deliberate. It's deliberate on their end. Like, they fucking know what they're doing.
Yeah.
There's a
Oh, yeah,
reason
yeah.
that they fucking named it that shit.
Yeah.
Because they know it's going to be hard to, to be an
so you're
opposition.
racist?
Yeah.
So you're racist?
The immediate response to whenever there's any opposition to what their ideology is that you're racist immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And there's an interesting video I seen where originally it was just a sentiment.
Yeah.
And then it became all-encompassing new government, new policies.
Abolish the nuclear
that.
family.
And it's like, whoa, how the fuck did we get from just Black Lives Matter to now you want to be a Marxist organization?
right.
So I don't understand it. And it's unfortunate that most of people of my ethnicity believes it. And
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's because they're busy living their fucking lives,
Yeah,
man. Like,
yeah.
it's not because they're Marxists. It's because they're fucking busy. They're living their life. And yeah, of course my life fucking matters.
Yeah.
And these motherfuckers don't think my life matters? These racist fucks? Like,
Yeah.
it's an easy trap to fall into, and it's by design. Like, that shit is by design. What do you want? Like,
which is, at the very least, it's clever. It's
Right,
clever.
right.
It's a clever phrase.
These people aren't stupid.
Because I think didn't they fucking trademark it or something like that?
Oh, and yeah, it's an organizational official.
Yes, they did.
They're gonna sue if somebody else uses it.
Yeah.
So they can give you like a cease and desist kind of thing.
You cannot use this. This is mine.
All right, BP1, I got a question. A year. What happened? That's not what
And
I'm
if
going
anybody missed it, it's for Black Person One.
Thank you.
That's the acronym, all right?
A year ago. Has anything changed from your opinion of, well, probably it's definitely changed from now, from a year ago, but is it as dramatic, or have we always had the same thought process, same mentality, like let's figure out what the fuck's going on before we say that everything's terrible in the
You
world?
talking about with police interactions? You're very vague on what you're saying.
That is exactly that.
Okay.
Yep, yes, that is why I'm asking it like that.
So,
Because
I want to build a snowman.
so the way I grew up was my house was kind of divided. My mom, who now is separated from my pops, is a Democrat, right? So she always kind of had a Democratic opinion on things.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But because my pops was the father of the household, the man of the household, my dad is mainly conservative. So he always used to usurp whatever opinion she had. So even if she would tell us something that didn't coincide with what he had,
Yep.
It would always be sort of overlooked because my dad is
kind of compassion and discipline.
Right. So
The yin and yang.
So my conservative views have always been that since I was young.
good.
Yeah.
And I grew up in the roughest areas.
Yeah.
The roughest areas. So that's why when I hear people on the liberal and left side talking about, well, these people that grew up in the hood and the urban areas, they need help, they can't get out, they don't have a choice because they've been oppressed. And I'm like, no, my folks were just ordinary. My mom was a nurse. My dad was
Privilege.
right. right. I was like, no, bro. I went to fucking Walmart to get my toys, my shoes, everything. And I have a story where it's like you have 3 stepbrothers, right?
Yep.
You have 3 stepbrothers. 2 of them, all 3 of them are fatherless as far as them knowing their birth father.
Sure.
Right? So
can you hear it when he's getting drinking? I can hear the difference.
I can definitely hear it.
It's like him.
Yeah, I know.
It's like Fred.
No, I'm sorry. Keep going. Keep going.
And I love this. I love this analogy because it's materialized.
Right.
This is actually something that happened.
Right.
So you have 3 stepbrothers, right? All 3 of them are fatherless in regards to their biological fathers.
Sure.
2 of them decided that they wanted to go against the grain. They didn't want to do schoolwork. They didn't want to listen to rules and regulations. So they ended up in jail.
Okay.
One of them got their degree, went to school, got on a dean's list in college, and is now working on his bachelor's degree. So how do you have it where you have 3 stepbrothers, all of them are fatherless as far as the biological fathers.
Sure.
They all are granted the same opportunities, and 2 of them decided to do their own thing, and one of them decided, well, no, I'm not oppressed. I have the same opportunities as my counterparts who are white, and I got my degree. And why is it that that story can't be the same as any other family that is out there that's in the urban areas?
So when we talk about this kind of stuff, it's a mixture of things. So like when you're talking about your dad and your mom being like the Democrat Republican, really I see it as like the compassion perspective versus the order perspective, right, authority, whatever. But like when you talk about the perspectives of the compassionate, if you will, of the left leaning, they see people in groups. They don't see people as individuals,
Right.
And so the fact that you bring that up, it doesn't compute with them because they can't see people on an individual level.
Right.
Like if anybody makes it, it's just an anomaly because all 3 of them were set up by the system to fail because everybody is the same as a group.
Right.
Like
they generalize everything.
That's how they see everything. Yeah. And so it like having a discussion with, because that's what I'm all about, communication and understanding the other side. And I used to be far more liberal than I am now.
Oh, here it is. There it is. He's going to say it. Say it. Say
Go
it.
ahead. No, you have to say it. You say it every episode.
Every episode. Say it.
Well, it's been a couple episodes. So
okay, well, just say it.
I'm the most liberal and the most conservative?
Yes.
BP1 on the show.
But that's just the perspective. So I try to understand where people are coming from, because how do you fucking communicate if you don't? And so when you say a story like that, like they just brush it off. It's like water off their back. Like they don't care because it doesn't make sense because you're talking about individual. And you know, the conservative perspective is generally always about self-accountability and individual choices.
Right.
And I think there's an extreme too far in that direction to where like, okay, but this person had no fucking like good opportunity in life. What the fuck do you expect? Mm-hmm. Like there's an extreme, and I think that's why there's a 2-party system in America, and there was a balance to it because the left gets too fucking crazy and the right gets too crazy sometimes. And it's good to fucking pull each other back. Yeah. And we're out of whack right now. It's just, I don't know. It's disappointing. Yeah. But I want to go on a rant about fucking masks and how much I hate them.
the math.
Separate conversation.
We are still doing, they're still doing masks.
Okay, so I did the math last night because the girl's not happy with me because
she's not happy, so you did math?
No, she's not happy with me.
Who fucking does that?
Because I still don't like the masks. All right, I'm just a fucking contrarian. I don't know what you want from me. Like everybody tells me to do something, I got to do something else. Like I can't do it.
Oh, I get that.
And so
don't wear a mask.
Fuck that. I'm not wearing it.
I get that.
So I did the math last night. It's 3% since this whole fucking shit kicked off. 3% of Florida has caught the virus, and 0.001% has died from the virus. All right, that's where Florida's numbers are currently.
Out of that 0.001%, what is the age range of those people that died?
How often where those people die anyways? Yeah, I know. Valid questions to ask.
And what kind of deficiency? What kind of deficiency
we can go into that because I like that too, but go ahead.
My point is we are now treating 97%, and we're talking of over the span of more than 6 months of 3% of Florida has managed to catch it at some point. Now, so we're treating more than 97% of all people in Florida like they're sick at all times. That's the fucking mentality.
Yeah.
You're all sick, and you're too much of a piece of shit to not stay home if you got sick.
Yes.
So, like, when I got COVID, I stayed the fuck home. I quarantined. All right? I did what I was supposed to do. And now I got to walk out into public.
He's COVID positive, by the way.
Yeah, he's COVID.
So you fucked it. BP1, you fucked up.
Antibodies positive.
God.
Did you see how he does that, though, with, like, dicks?
Antibodies.
Yeah.
By the way, if you guys, it's an audio show, so I'm going to
Mouth
explain. Mouth open, dick in each hand, and he is putting it in his face. Like,
so. Anyways,
flustered now.
Yeah, no. You fucked me up. It's good. I like it. But I get it. I have to be treated like I'm a piece of shit, and we're treating everybody else like they're pieces of shit. That's the mentality. Treat everybody like they're a piece of shit. When I walk into work, I'm to be tested for a fever. Like I wouldn't make the fucking choice to not come into work if I had a fever.
I know.
I already did that, and yet they still want to fucking test me to see if I have a fever when I come into work. Like, I already fucking made the right choice. Get the fuck out of here. Go fuck yourself. Like,
but you seen the new CDC memo they just went out today? I heard on the radio.
What's that?
Where it says if you're asymptomatic,
it works out good.
When you're asymptomatic, you do not have to get tested. If you're not showing any symptoms and you're asymptomatic, you do not have to get tested. There's no reason for you to get tested.
So it's almost impossible to fucking transmit when you're asymptomatic. They figured that shit out like 2 months ago, but everybody wants to just, no, you're anti-science. Wait, you're going to ignore all the scientists and tell me I'm anti-science?
It blows my mind that every other disease that you can name off right now that's common kills more people than this thing ever has. I
was talking to my barber, and they were like, well, if it doesn't spread when they're asymptomatic, how does it spread? I'm like, how do you think the flu goes around, buddy?
Well, at first, I used to laugh at the test when they were testing for COVID. I was like, if it's so fucking contagious, why is the test so intricate about going into the back of the fucking nostril and getting the back?
Right, so
why couldn't you just sneeze into a cloth and be like, yeah, you're COVID fucking positive? It's so fucking dumb, bro. It's a control factor. It's fucking stupid. Dude,
it's definitely worse because it's a election season. It's absolutely treated worse because it's election season.
So I talked to my dad, right? And my dad was giving me a heads up on what's happening in the Philippines.
Right.
Everybody knows
because he's talking family back home.
Family back home.
Filipino love.
About I think it's like two months ago.
I saw a Filipino girl when you said that.
Maybe
bro. Me too.
2 months, yeah.
She's pregnant.
With Boba in the hand.
My fault, go ahead.
So maybe 3 months ago, I think it's like 2 months ago, they cut off the requirements for COVID, the whole quarantine, masks, fucking bullshit.
Turn it off.
You wear it if you want to wear it. Stay home if you're fucking sick. They turn it off because
personal responsibility.
They did their, which is what we did with every other fucking disease.
Good job being an adult.
So they did it. They did their own studies and noticed that 100 like it was like 98% of the people that caught it are alive. They're like, fuck it, that's whatever, and they cut it off, and their economy's back to normal, back to doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
Why the fuck can't we do that? Why is this still a fucking issue?
On a societal level thing, it bothers me.
And it's Trump, and everybody's like, oh, it's one man's fault. It's one man's fault. It's only one.
Yeah.
Out of the millions of people we have, the 300-something million people we have here, it's only one man's fault.
Or no, what they say is, it's not his fault. It came from a different country, but the way he handled it wasn't
it's his fault.
I listened to Nancy Pelosi on the way here. She legit said it was his fault.
It's Trump's fault.
Yeah.
It's Trump's fault.
She went out on the edge on that one. Went on the limp on that one.
There's some crazy shit that came out of the DNC.
It's so awesome.
She's injecting money into her veins. That's what's going on.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why she's alive
it's
right now.
It's like the South Park episode of why, what the fuck's his name? Goddamn basketball player Magic Johnson. Why the cure for AIDS is just bathing in money.
Yeah.
It's just money. If you liquefy the dollar bill and just inject it into your veins.
Now he just rolls in it.
This is how I'm alive. Woo.
That's the cure for AIDS, didn't you? South Park told us. Sorry.
If it happened on South Park, it's fucking right.
You were saying about the DNC?
Oh, the DNC is awesome. I love their whole.
Dude, I like some of the people running for RNC.
Yeah,
the RNC, there's a lot of good fucking people there.
There's a tremendous amount of good stuff that the RNC put out, but the DNC, like the amount of like cringe-worthy shit was fucking awesome.
The fucking non-binary Vietnamese woman man that was talking about society without police or jails.
Oh, fucking Christ, bro!
It's crazy.
That and like the guy that's singing at the end that that is gay and that is wearing a dress and that he's. It was a shit show with all of the fucking DNC stuff.
They gave the Pledge of Allegiance. They left off under God. But they gave the Pledge of Allegiance while they're supporting all of like these extremists that hate America.
Yes.
And what was interesting with that guy that was in a dress that was singing,
Yep.
it had the pro-African flag up there.
Yes.
But ABL made a good point about that's a confliction.
Yes.
Anthony Bryan Logan.
Yeah. if
Big
anyone didn't know.
confliction.
But
He's going with the fucking acronyms right now.
Oh yeah. I want one right now.
ABL pushes
ABL.
that shit.
ABL,
He
yeah,
pushes that
ABL.
shit.
Thank
He
you.
pushes that
But
shit.
I want one. But he mentioned that in that culture, who is pro-African American,
Yep.
they are very pro men and not the masculinity of
Oh,
men.
yes,
so it's
bro.
like you have a huge contradiction
That is-
on
that
the
is-
on the biggest stage of the Democratic Party.
That is bad
And-
juju
yeah.
for what they're fucking
and you
trying
turn
to rep.
off a lot of people who are pro-African,
People don't know shit, though. People don't
Yeah.
know shit. When Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and the other guys had the fucking African cloths and they were kneeling.
And they were kneeling.
Dude, do you
That
know?
was so cringeworthy.
Do you understand?
Ah,
The
so
cloth
cringe.
was worn by the slave owners, wasn't it?
The cloth was representative of the biggest slave owners in Africa.
And you got white people wearing it.
Yeah.
Bro, like what the
Imagine
fuck?
that.
It's so
Imagine
good.
that.
It's
But no one gives a fuck. No,
It's-
like 3% of people will figure that
dude,
out.
my favorite person right now, and her name is Kim Cusick.
Okay.
That's
Think
my favorite
that
person.
sounds
She's the
familiar.
Detroit's fucking. They're trying to rep for rep.
I sent her ad out.
She
Yes,
is.
She sent that
that's
brutal
exactly
fucking
what-
ad
She
out.
is my favorite person right now. She's on
Baltimore.
if I
Running
lived
for
there,
Baltimore.
Yes.
if I I'd vote for her 100 fucking.
Have you seen this shit?
Have you seen her?
Oh yeah,
She's
the
the
one that's
Republican-
walking,
as fuck.
the one that's walking in
through
the-
Baltimore.
She
Yeah.
was walking through Baltimore. This is
Good.
Baltimore.
Yeah, I seen
They're
that.
not
Fucking
fucking fixing it. It's been
job.
ran by Democrats for 35 fucking years. Or actually 50 plus
And they
years.
keep voting for him.
Yeah.
So
They keep
she went
voting.
up. She's my favorite person right now. Kim Cusick. I vote for her. If you live in fucking, vote for her.
Baltimore.
Period. Baltimore. Yeah.
I don't know how many listeners we got in Baltimore, but
Yeah.
We don't.
Yeah.
We have
Baltimore
one in
doesn't listen.
Canada, and we have.
Hey, we got 18 in Canada.
We actually
all right?
have a few guys in Florida that listen that I know of. So
It's basically all of our phones downloaded the episode.
yes,
Right.
that's what I'm talking about. Like us, we
Like,
we
we're-
listen.
We're downloading VPNs
my-
to make our fucking.
My cell phone, my iPad, my computer all download all the episodes. So right there's 300 listeners right there.
Yes.
But anyway, no, we got people everywhere. Let me undermine that because there are people that talk to us.
What time do we have for this endeavor?
for?
How long
Yes,
do we have?
I don't know. Because
Fucking-
I fucked it up
fucking
earlier.
fucking up the flow of the podcast over here.
We got like
Sometime.
Math.
5 minutes.
Okay.
Math.
I
All
think
right.
5 minutes.
Sorry to throw you out of this, listeners. Chase isn't good about keeping the show going.
I am terrible at the show going.
Yeah.
But blowing up doors is fucking phenomenal. I just want to state that long.
How'd you
fucking week of
enjoy
it.
that?
There's a lot of math, so that sucks. But there's a lot
of math.
Oh,
Yeah, of
there was
course.
math.
So did you
bro.
fail?
Yes.
Did you fail?
No,
Did you
actually, I
calculate
did.
mass,
I did
or
good.
what do you do?
What was that?
How do you come up with your math?
We're talking about math and how much explosive
Carry
that
the
we're adding.
5
No.
plus
I had
5,
one of my guys there to help me.
carried 2 and then
Well,
multiply.
like, is there like basically you're calculating force based on the lock that you're trying to?
We're talking about
defeat?
math for how much explosive that we're putting onto the door. We're talking about overpressure problems. We're talking about inside what we can do for standoff for that. There's
you are way too complicated in this math
Oh,
thing.
I'm so excited about it.
I know you started asking. So you're multiplying force times the
He's in it.
gravitational
He's
pull
in it for sure.
from the
love
North Pole,
physics.
and then
Bro,
and then
there-
Chase is like door blow boom boom.
Hold on.
I've seen guns blow up from under pressured cartridges. I don't know. I always think that.
No,
shit's
he was
expensive.
like door
so
plus
for,
stick
like,
plus bang.
For det cord stuff, how you can, what you can do for doors, depending on the doors, depending on the size, depending on if you're outside,
Number of
you're
blocks.
insides, bro. I mean, there's a tremendous amount of stuff of how I can get inside your fucking house.
It's called a key.
No,
It's called a key.
you
You
know,
just insert key.
I am much louder than that, and I ain't using that fucking key. I'm gonna come in, and you're gonna be like,
This
"What
guy,
the fuck,
this guy
bro?"
likes to just pick every fucking lock that he can, or try to get into any door that he can. Like
It's a hobby.
he's been like that way forever.
Yes,
So
it's a thing now.
I think
it's
you-
still a thing.
It's still a thing.
If it's unlocked, oh hey, what's going on?
Oh,
What
look,
you guys
it's
doing?
unlocked now.
I have a gun buying addiction. Okay.
Weird.
I talked myself out of
Listen,
buying a
there's
gun.
people.
I feel like
there's people, there's people you could talk to.
I almost bought a
What gun?
BRN 180 upper and 300
Really?
blackout.
Yeah?
Dude, you've been wanting to get that fucking 180 upper for a long time.
And now they make it in a shorty 300 blackout. 'Cause that's my next thing of like I need a shorty 300 blackout.
Why is he like demonstrating dicks all day, all night?
He wants dicks
So,
in his mouth.
I like the
he's just going with it. All right,
I like the 9mm thing, but I still don't have a suppressor for that.
Yep.
hold on.
And
keep
No,
talking.
you have to keep
Keep
demonstrating.
talking. Keep talking.
but the 300 blackout is a nice. It's just a problem because it's such a fucking. I'm so paranoid about getting a 300 blackout round in my AR-15.
I think you should do it.
And so I wanted something totally different. What I really wanted, I
Yep.
looked into it.
Yep.
A guy named David that we know, that
That.
big David.
Oh, okay, good.
He was really trying to talk me into making terrible decisions.
Good, he should.
And buying a 5.53.
Really?
A Sig 5.53 and 300 blackout.
I don't even know what that is.
It's only 3,000. No, it's closer. It's
a
closer to
lot of
4,000.
fucking money, bro.
I know. I almost pulled the
Fuck
trigger on it.
that.
I almost pulled the trigger on it. I don't know what to tell you. Like, but it's Rock and Lock magazines. It's fucking clear.
Clear.
There's no way of fucking making.
the hell does this mean? Checking connection.
You can't make the confusion. Like, right? Like,
No, I get the thought process.
but so when I
Jesus
went
Christ.
there, I was like, "Fucking calm down, buddy. Just buy an AK. Just buy a little.
Yapper.
Just buy a little 8-inch AK, and then buy some specialty subsonic 300 blackout.
Sure.
And if I really want to get fancy, I can buy the adjustable gas block and get the gas block set on.
Why are you going so fancy for burning somebody down in your house?
Because I'm addicted. I don't know what you want from me. Like, I fucking want stupid money. I have 2 safes.
Right.
I have 2 safes full of guns.
Remember that when we burn somebody down, we lose the gun for like a fucking year.
Yeah.
And then we
Yeah.
eventually get it back.
Well, that's why you need 18.
Isn't the goal just
18
to
what?
stop the threat?
18 guns.
Isn't that the goal just to stop the threat? That's immediate.
No,
Sure.
it's to kill them.
No, so like if
Kill them.
I build a gun like this is for like end times are here.
Bro, then who gives a shit?
Like the
Then we
Walking
can
Dead.
just we're gonna
Right.
do shenanigans to I can have your guns.
Taking your gains.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no one has a 5.53 laying around. Not even David Lane.
I was about to say that David's
Sorry.
going to buy one.
You have to edit that. You have to figure out the
Nah,
time.
you fucked up. What's going on?
He'll do
David,
it.
we're coming for you.
He'll do it. He'll do it. He'll do it. I'm still waiting for it. That like this entire time I'm
he
waiting
does
for
have a couple different SIGs, but he doesn't have that. We were talking about it.
Soon
'cause
enough he will.
I did something for him on one of his fancy SIGs. That is like the Swiss.
It's not
It's Swiss.
Come
not
back to me.
Swedish, right?
It's not that cool.
Dude, the Swiss SIGs.
He won't do the dick thing.
They
right?
are the fucking pinnacle of stamping technology.
Yes.
How do they
They
stand?
were-
Yeah, yes.
How do they stamp?
See?
They really are. They figure that shit out better than anybody else on the goddamn planet. And they're one of the last people to do it, too. So, I don't know. Like, I don't need it at all, but I want it.
You should definitely get it.
Because I've wanted a little fucking short 5.5 series forever because of video games, and 5.56 blows in a short caliber. And then I thought, oh, but 300 blackout. And then I had talking to David about it. He's like, but they sell it. It's only $2,000 for the upper. That's missing its bolt carrier
It's
group.
only, bro. You
Right.
should totally get it.
$2,000 for the upper, $1,000 for the lower, and you have to buy a charging handle and a bolt carrier group.
You should get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely get it. I don't know why we're discussing this.
I have to refinish my flooring. I have to get gutters on my house.
But if
Oh,
you're
look.
if you're burning somebody down in your house, that's
it's
what
Jeff. He decided to join
That
our live video.
fucking
Hey, Jeff.
nerd.
Fuck you, Jeff.
Jeff, say hi to your replacement.
BP1.
Black person one.
I think we're out of time.
am I
He
the-
waved. He waved.
Good job, Jeff.
Am I the only one that gets mad about these masks?
No, I hate wearing masks. If every opportunity I don't have to wear one, I will not wear one.
Sucks, yeah.
I take it off.
I
Like
do
when
too.
I'm in public, I
I do
take
too.
it. I like it. I'll wear it as I attempt to be, but like I don't know. I'm probably mentally. I'm mentally ill here. I find myself getting angry. I find myself getting angry because I think about like basically, I'm buying into assuming everybody's sick and obeying the authority that doesn't make sense. So I just fucking take that shit off.
Yeah.
I try not to do it unless I like know I'm willing to get kicked out of a place.
And
Like if I got a piss
that's-
real bad,
that's
I'll put a
bad
mask
juju.
on to go
Delete
take a
videos.
piss.
Delete
Yeah,
videos.
that's a bad
Because it's
juju.
crazy. Because
All right, it's deleted. Okay, guys, that's it. That's all we got. No more. There's too much. Too much dick handling over there from fucking Clear Malfunction. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys. You know, we always appreciate it. I know things have been a little bit slow lately. A lot of things have been happening, but we are still recording. We are still releasing. So please like, share, and subscribe.
I'm not dead yet.
I've got Bad Karma Live.
Thunder is good. Thunder is impressive, but it's the lightning that does the work. Think about that. Go ahead.
It's like a fart joke or something like that.
No, it's not. It's way beyond what you're thinking
Deeper
right
than
now.
you can understand, bro.
And I've got Clear Malfunction.
Fucking turning into Macho Man Randy Savage over here. Have a good listen, gentlemen.
I almost did Hulk Hogan. Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah!
I just got done watching The Last Dance.
Hey,
Where fucking
guy,
Dennis Rodman
nobody
runs
cares.
off
Too
to
late.
fucking wrestle with Hulk Hogan out of
Nobody
nowhere.
cares. Nobody
Oh,
cares.
it's so great.
It's already over.
BP1.
BP1.
You got to sign off?
You got to sign off?
Words of wisdom.
Fuck.
What does it say? Quote?
Fuck.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I'm black, but we're also diverse. They go against
What?
what Joe Biden said.
What?
I think he's had a lot of alcohol.
He's like, he
Did
wants
you
more
hear the
alcohol.
slur going on? All right.
So, like, do you have nightmares of Joe Biden touching you and taking your blackness away?
Yeah, sometimes.
My man.
I am the Nitro Panda. Thank you for listening once again. Don't forget about our sponsor, going to stonecoldworks.com.
He just texted
checking
back
out
an
stuff.
hour later.
An hour later, you find the
Yeah.
text back, huh? Like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, tell your friends we need to be the loud voice. So, love you guys. Thanks.
Peace out.